Hi fellow traders, we're going to do a recap of some of the trades I took today. I can say it has been a challenging week, and I think a lot of it has to do with my expectations for the week. But it happens. This is what happens when we put these big expectations on ourselves and we don't achieve them. And sometimes it gets to us, sometimes it beats us down, and it makes the week a little bit more stressful. But the reality is, the market does give every day. Whether we're on the right side of it or not is going to depend on us. It's going to depend on our preparation, and that's where I've been lacking a little bit. So I hadn't really been following through on the process for looking at my trades and for vetting them, and I'm seeing a lot of getting in too early or not waiting for confirmation. I am sticking to my stops, which is good. I think I've kind of got that problem licked, but whenever things aren't going your way, you tend to start forcing things, and you tend to start seeing things that aren't there, and everybody goes through it, every trader goes through it, and we have to identify it, and then we have to come up with ways in order to work through it. And that's pretty much what I've been doing this week. And I think the only reason that I'm able to be green on this week is the fact that I'm able to, when I feel myself getting out of control, I'm able to reel myself back in, refocus myself, and get back in the game before it's too late and I really hurt myself. So that's kind of been my focus over the last couple of days, is trying to make sure that I get myself in order, to make sure I have my head right, and when things start going south, to bring myself back around and do the right thing. But before we get into our trades, I want to make sure I welcome you guys out to our morning show that we do every morning, and Sneak Peek Wednesday, where you get to spend some time looking at our chat room and looking at what we do and how we do it. Also stream it on YouTube live, so if you don't get in through our website, I recommend going through there, because you actually get to come in a chat room that's just like the chat room, that my main chat room. All it is that's our classroom, but everything else is identical. It's just like I'm streaming into two chat rooms at the same time, so you get to get a good feel for what it's like in the chat room. So I suggest for those days, just go to the website and click on the Sneak Peek Wednesday, and it'll bring you right to the room. Alright, so that's all I have for this evening. Just sit back and kind of listen to me babble on about my trades. Maybe you'll pick up something, maybe you'll learn something, or maybe you'll have some feedback from me. So either way is good. So take it easy and just sit back and enjoy our trades. Alright guys, we're going to look at my trades from today, but it's going to look a little bit different tonight, because I want to share with you one of the ways that I reflect. This is just one part of the reflection model that I do every night, and I feel it's very important that you reflect on your trades and you follow the model that or follow any model of reflection, because it takes you through steps. And if you go through those steps and you don't shortcut, you're going to be able to fully analyze your trade, figure out what you did wrong, what you did right, the things that you want to focus on going forward. And if you just did a whole lot wrong, you'll be able to come up with a plan to correct it the next time. But this is just one facet of it. And what this is, now the only studies you're going to see on here are moving averages and the ones in the VWAP. And that's what I feel are the most important. Now on the Tesla trades, that's another it's the same DOS platform, but it's another account. I've got things set up a little different for that because I really do mostly swing trading out of it. But you'll see more moving averages and things on that chart. But for what we do here, I really want to get a good look at the volume and the price action and the candlestick formation. And what that usually tells me is, okay, if there's a certain formation that I see over and over again that tells me a stock is not going to make the move that I want to make, then that's going to help me get out of the trade a little bit earlier. And you'll see that on my CSX trade and stuff like that. So we're going to take a look at TRV. This was a pre-market trade that I got into, and I love the setup on it. Let's go back a little bit. We had a gap down here, and this started to look like pretty smooth price action. So we got short here, and this, at the time, this was under the VWAP and everything. So there should have been a clean green move down to 117. But we started down. We did make a little move, and it kind of slowed down. And then they had a conference call, and this is when things got kind of turned around. And it's funny because they showed a conference call at 9 and then another one at 9:30. And it's funny, right at the open, this thing, no, I'm sorry, it showed one at 8:30 and then one at 9. And then you see at the open, I was holding it looking for a washout, and you can see we had a big selling candle here, but the price just never dropped. It just never went down, and I ended up having to stop out here. So I got short here. This was a nice entry. I don't think there was anything that would have stopped me from going in other than the volume, but the volume is low in pre-market, so we don't really have an issue there. The spread was within 10 cents or so when I got in, but within a couple minutes of me getting in, the spread went to like 75 cents, and it stayed there, it seems like forever. But as long as technically this was in play, I was happy with it, and I really came close to taking it off here. And when I was going to click on it to take it off, because we were at 9 o'clock, then of course we get a pop-up on Suretrader. By the time I closed it, this thing had popped up. I mean, within 10 seconds, this candle had started to run up, and it really didn't make sense for me to take it off. The best thing for me to do is to let it run and see if it worked. Technically it was still in play, but then we got to open, and we got a big pop-up here, and it took me out. I had to stop out. And see, that one, that was an $80 loss. And that's kind of how I started the morning. But from what I see on this and looking at this chart, I saw kind of like a higher low here, a higher high and a higher low on that bounce. So really that should have told me I needed to get out. Even though we're under the technical levels, the thing is these trades should work out. If they don't work out within 30 minutes or so, it's time to get rid of it. And I should have gotten rid of it down here around break even, but I didn't. It popped up through everything. It's this wicked candle here and took me out. And of course I didn't have a hard stop at the time because I couldn't have one pre-market, so I was just holding it with my finger on the button waiting to see what it does, and ended up getting hit on that. So FL was the next one. So you look at FL, we opened right here and we started looking for opening range breakout. So this is the 930 candle right here. Open, we were pushing up. This is VWAP here, and so this was a perfect entry to get in on a 5-minute opening range breakout, which was right here. And we had the VWAP right here. So I had two strong indicators here. So I got in initially, and I didn't get in as heavy as I wanted to. So I wanted to get 500 shares, and I didn't. I only got I think 300 or 200 or I can't remember, and I don't have the doggone trade log, but whatever it was, I added to my position to try. I got 450 shares versus 500, but that was close enough. My first target was 74.50. We had trouble getting there, so I took it off a little early at around 74.45, and then as this was pulling back, I went ahead and got out around 75.20 or so. I didn't want to let it come all the way back to break even and stop me out. I was going to reset and get back in all the way. But you see, we pulled all the way back, and I anticipated a bounce here off of this level, the opening range high. I anticipated a bounce here, and there was a level here as well, and the VWAP. So this is where I made my mistake. I anticipated, I didn't wait for the setup. And we'll look at the 2-minute chart here, which is right here. I anticipated it, never got a candle. I at least need to get a 2-minute candle to close above VWAP. This never did close above VWAP. I ended up just taking it, and then I had to stop out and then wait to reset. And here's where the fiasco came in. I got in here and I accidentally got out, and then I had to get right back in so that I could take this trade. So, and I covered moving up. I got out here, I got some here, got some here around 74.50, and when this pulled back, we got this candle, and then when this was making a new low, or it made a lower low, I went ahead and took the rest off. And this was my best trade of the morning. 316.46. Yeah, the commissions are going to take a dent So we'll see in the morning, once everything settles, I'll be able to see how much we actually made minus commissions. So it's probably going to be in the 250 range is what we made off of this. QCOM was another one. This was another stop. Just there's no explanation here. I didn't wait. Again, I'm sitting here looking at this. I didn't wait for this candle to close. And then where's the 2 minute? Here we go. I didn't wait for this candle to close. I was watching this 2 minute chart where we had this to close. This one confirmed it. I just jumped right in. And the next candle, it started pushing back up. We lost VWAP, so I had to take it off. That was, we closed above VWAP here. And then this was a confirmation that we were holding VWAP. And so I tried this again. I tried it again under the VWAP and the 20-day here. And again, this thing didn't go anywhere. I ended up just clicking it. I only gave it a 20-cent stop, because if it didn't go this time and it went to pull back, it wasn't going to go. And you can see, it ran back up and tried to go green on the day. So a double stop out here. I guess this snapshot was from when we were still in it, but I ended up about 150 in the hole on this. So this was definitely not a good trade for me. So let's look at the next one. We're going to look at CSX. And again, didn't wait for confirmation. I anticipated. And it seems like most of the time when I anticipate, I lose. Here again, I think I did very good by watching the 2 minute. And this is what happens sometimes when you use the 2 minute versus the 5 minute. You get a fake out. And that's what happened here. So CSX, this is one where, based on what I've seen in the past and reflecting like I'm doing now, I took this trade off. I did not like the price action. We had a long wick to the downside. A lot of times when this happens, you're not going down. This just took out some stop losses down here. And when this happens, you're going to start to move up. And so you can see we just traded flat lines. And then, we started making this move back up. But I saw this and I recognized this from how I'm reflecting now, and I knew to take this off. I didn't let it hit my max loss stop, and so we only lost $6 on this. And it's all because I was in tune with this. And I think that was the last trade, I believe. After this, it was QCOM, the last trade. QCOM might have been the last trade I took. But that was it in my small account this morning. And this week has really been tough. I mean, it may be because I had in my mind that this was going to be a big week. And I think it was all mental. I was so excited. I had been waiting and waiting for this earnings season to start again. I knew we were going to kick it off hot and heavy, and was very disappointed in the market. I mean, the market is strong. It keeps going up and up and up. But somehow I developed into a Class A short seller. And, I think this FL trade was probably the first long that I had forever, in a long time. But I need to get out of this short mentality and start opening my mind up and looking at the longs, because that's what the market is giving as well. All right, so the last trade, excuse me, we're gonna look at is Tesla. And this one we had news came out, some negative news came out. It hit Benzinga, and it just so happens that I was looking at some stocks that I was thinking about swinging, and I had my platform up, and I went ahead and jumped in, and it got here short 50 shares because, obviously this was a news play. This was very volatile, and I didn't know whether we were going to get a pop back for $1 or so, whatever the case was. So I got in. Oh, excuse me. I got in, and around 304, I think 304.70s, and I covered right here at 301.40s. And this was solid. This was a solid move. And then I waited, and I was waiting for it to test in the 20 and reject. And this is what it did. I kind of anticipated the rollover. I was looking at the 2-minute chart and got it, took it short, covered it right here and almost right at the bottom. And when we were recovering, I went ahead and took it all off because on a rejection I was going to get back in, and I got back in, and we did have a little bounce here, but this 9-moving average held as resistance. And once we got down to my target here, which was 302, we took it all off here and just made some really solid trades on it. I can't be more happy. But this is just one of those news plays that I don't typically trade, but it was just like a perfect storm. We had the washout here. This started going red. We were losing the 200. I mean, it really looked weak. I mean, yeah, I could have caught it up here at 305, but I let it go possibly a point before I actually got in and felt comfortable getting in. So it's one of those things that I just felt good about. I mean, I can't really explain it, but I felt in tune. I was locked in, and I caught it, and I read the price action. When I saw it starting to reverse, I got out, got back in when I saw it reversing again and continuing to trend down. When I saw it trying to reverse, I got out. This was an indecision candle, and we did drop down a little bit more, but here was the next candle that started to go back up. So, and this was all reading price action. I mean, that's all it was just reading price action. and it's something that it's a skill that you really need to develop. There's no doubt about it. It's going to help you when you're trying to manage your trades and manage your risk on these trades. So all said and done, I don't know if I could bring this over here or not. We have to wait and see. No, I can't get it. But total, we got 430.53, off this Tesla. And I did, at the end of the day, take a 50 share position in the Suretrader account, looking for a gap down overnight. So that's, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to be looking for this gap down. I think we're going to gap down. Based on what I saw, based on the trading, and based on how it closed, it never did recover. And you can see here, it never did recover. It kind of hung around these moving averages and stayed below it. All through when it stopped trading at 8 o'clock. We were still below here. So I think we get a gap down tomorrow. If not, obviously I'm going to get out. I'm only in 50 shares, so I probably won't get hurt. So should be pretty good on that. And it's all based on what I was looking at. Let me see. Let me see if I can do a daily chart on this, and then I'll show you what I was looking at. So here's the daily chart on, let me go to not QCOM, Tesla. Alright, so this is the daily chart, and let me add a trend line here. I mean moving average. I think this will be a 50. And you see we're up, and I'll put the 90 on here, and you'll see we're well above all of these moving averages. We're well above them. And this is the 90 simple. Alright, this should be the simple, not exponential, because I use simple moving averages on my daily charts. It doesn't change it that much, but that's what I was looking at was a pullback or a gap down to this level right here first, which is in 297.40s, and that's what I'm looking for. We've got, this is a fairly decent supply zone in here, and that's what I'm looking for. A gap down and possibly a move into this level early. Based on what I see, that's what I'm looking for. Now I know, here we had a sell-off and then a pullback. We had a sell-off here. We had 2 candles down and a pullback. I think we get to this level. We didn't stop on a level here today, but this should be what it gets to tomorrow. And we'll see, but I will keep it in check. I won't let it run and just get out of control. But only 50 shares. I got 3 points on 50 shares earlier today. So 2 points or 2.5. That's gonna be a decent way to start the morning. All right, so that's it for me today. That was my day in a nutshell. We're gonna look to start this day off, start Friday off good. Want to end this week strong. Not thinking about how far away from where I would have wanted to be at the end of this week. We're gonna have weeks like this. So, if I only needed about $1,500 to make our $5,000 goal for this month. The goal was make 5 this month, make 5 next month, and then we make the deposit in IB, and we start looking and bringing some swing trades into what we're doing. That's the plan, but I can't force it. I can't make mistakes like I have been making, just not waiting for confirmation. Fear that I'm going to miss out. Fear of sitting here not trading all day, which sometimes that's what has to be done. You can't, sometimes the best trade is no trade and sitting on your hands. And I remember, and I went back looking in my journal, that there've been some weeks where I didn't trade 3 days. 3 out of the 5 days I didn't trade. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, I had a phenomenal week. So, and I have to get back to trusting myself and trusting on the process. That's what I'm supposed to be teaching, what I'm supposed to be demonstrating. So I want to make sure that I am doing exactly what I need to be doing, so that you can see exactly what it takes to be a successful trader. All of these people will paint these beautiful pictures of success for you, but they're not going to show you the real deal. They're not going to show you the real struggle. And if you don't see that, none of this even matters. Alright, so that's going to do it for me tonight. We'll get back at it bright and early tomorrow morning. So take care. Have a great evening, a great night, or if you're on the other side of the world, a great morning. And I will see you in a few hours.